All right, we'll start with the opening statement from Coach, and then we'll open up for questions for Coach and Kylee Blacksten.
Yeah, well, for the most part, a solid effort. We're still a little inconsistent for me at times. In particular, the second quarter got away from us a little bit offensively, and I thought we lost our identity. Loved the way we started it. Liked our response in the third quarter. For the most part, in the fourth quarter, I thought we were pretty good. A few possessions defensively, and they hit some threes. But proud of the group. We needed this one. We needed to come on the road and find, a little bit of our road identity. We felt like we've been really good at home and at times let some things slip away on the road. So happy for the group. It was our 900th win as a program, so that's a lot of wins in our school's history. So that's pretty cool for us and all the ones that have played before us. I thought JJ was really good, and then Kylee here to my left with her career high was really good and has been for quite some time now. So, still trying to piece it all together and put a full game together. Arizona State presents a different challenge than some other teams that we had faced, so it's a little bit of a different game plan. A little bit of a quicker turnaround because we had played on Sunday and then the travel. But proud of the group for their prep work and then for coming here and getting the win.
Hey Coach, it's Aya Abdeen, Florida State Press. Can you talk to me what West Virginia, how they bought in the defensive intensity throughout this game?
Yeah, well, it is our identity. I feel like we've done that all year. It's not overly difficult at this point. They understand, I think, the assignment on most nights. The game plan changes, but it's been our calling card. And when you play on the road, you want defense to kind of propel you. You never know if you're going to get to 89, obviously, isn't always going to happen. And so you can always defend, and defense can travel. So, again, to hold that team well below their average at 59 is a solid effort.
Coach, the turnover margin's always been kind of a consistency part for you guys for much of the season. What can you necessarily say about how maybe the turnover margin wasn't as impressive today, but certainly you had the stretch runs where you kind of needed them?
Yeah, it didn't need to be. And so, that wasn't something we were overly worried about as much. Again, they've got some speed and athleticism, so we wanted to be a little careful letting them get out in the open floor as much. And so, again, that's kind of game plan dependent, I guess, a little bit. But the score also was in our favor for much of the game, too. And so we weren't necessarily trying to speed them up at that point. It was more take space away and slow them down.
You mentioned your road identity.
We remember your game from Colorado. How have you developed over these 2 years since you left there, especially your range?
I think that's something that you always try to grow, whether it's on the defensive end, offensive end. It's just always wanting to continue to get better in any aspect that I need to be. I think I've grown a little bit more in the low post area because that's not where I grew up playing. So it's kind of a switch to mentality.
How about you, Coach? What have you seen in your 2 years? Your 2 years with her?
Yeah, well, I mean, we play her in a different role than what, some people would think like as a 5 player. We don't ask her necessarily to be the back-to-basket banger. We want to actually use her the other way and allow her to stretch the floor and give us space in the rim. And, I don't know if Arizona State changed their lineup because of that or not, but Parkinson didn't start, Basham did. We thought maybe that was to match up with Kylee a little bit. And, she's played really well. I think she's playing with a ton of confidence right now. She's always had the ability to do it, sometimes maybe undersized depending on the matchup that we ask her to do a lot. But, we just played Audie Crooks, and I thought she did a phenomenal job defensively in that game. And so, again, she's been really good and playing at the best that I've ever seen her since I've been here, and I sure hope it continues.
Kylee, Coach mentioned your road identity as well as the travel out here all the way from West Virginia. Do you feel like that has much of an effect on the team?
I think it's more just playing together than anything. I think that we started maybe a little bit slow, and I think that might play a little bit of a role, but I think that we need to kind of continue to bring more energy throughout the entire game and to keep it more than, say, the travel.
I don't know if you heard, but TCU got beat tonight. How do you evaluate kind of where the top part of the conference is right now?
I haven't seen them yet. I mean, I've seen them on film a few times, but don't spend a lot of time. I worry about us way more than I worry about the rest, but I think they're fantastic. I think Kansas State is great. Obviously, Ayoka Lee's out now, so we'll see what that looks like. But Oklahoma State got us. I think that's what I'm the most disappointed about is we've let 2 slip away that we felt like we could have had, or we would be really up there in that conversation. But I think it's somewhat open. The difficult part now with our league is you just don't, because you only play so many teams once, you don't have opportunities to pick off those teams that are up there. So we only get TCU once. We only get Kansas State once. So if you get yourself behind the 8 ball, so to speak, it's a little bit more difficult to get it back because you only get so many opportunities, and we only play those couple of teams once. So blinders on for us. We're just going to go focus on the next one, and then we'll let the standings shake out as they may.
But Coach, you did see Arizona State tonight. In many ways, a lot of people in the Big 12 maybe think that they're probably a work in progress, especially after last year in the Pac-12 and this year. What do you just feel like that what Coach Adair is kind of just building when it comes to the identity probably here in Tempe? And do you feel like that there's progress possibly being made from what you just saw before tonight?
Yeah, and actually was at Stephen F. Austin and played them her first year, so I've seen the evolution from that year to now. What is this, year 3, I believe, right, for her? So year 3. And I'd watched a lot of tape on them, and just even at Kansas State, and that was I think 6 or 8 point game in the fourth quarter, and what they were doing against that quality of an opponent. So they had our full attention. That's the best compliment I think I could get them. We prepared every step of the way from everything that they do. They create some problems because of their athleticism, their size. Watched Parkinson do a great job with Aoka Lee and how she battles and their toughness, and Basham can create some issues too at that length. So yeah, they can shoot it. They put it on the floor. They're a hard guard, which is why I was pretty impressed with our group to hold that team to 59. And they're just, it takes time sometimes. So it's year 3, and it looks, I can tell you, much better than it did in year 1 when I played her when I was at Stephen F. Austin.
Can
Thanks.
you just kind of give an overall evaluation of where Quinterly's game, just, I don't know, how to describe exactly what she means to your program at this point?
Well, yeah, she means a lot, obviously. She's, kind of the spark. She can be some instant offense. She can get it going from every level, and you see her speed and quickness. She's the most dynamic kid that I've coached, and you saw it tonight when she gets going and gets in that proverbial zone. It looks pretty good. She's shooting the 3 a little bit better right now, and with more confidence. Obviously, she gets a lot of steals and wreaks havoc on the defensive end. And I think really I've said this many times to others, but since Christmas break, she's had a different look in her eye. I think that would be a fair statement, and seems to have the weight of the world off of her shoulders, and she's just hooping, so to speak, and that's when I think the kid's at her best. So certainly happy she's on her side, and I think she's going to do some big things here down the stretch.